No problem. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fabulous, thank you. I've got my coffee. My
Uh,
coffee.
the world's problems are solved by a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, by drug dealers all around the world known as baristas, right?
Well, that'll be our little secret, yeah. So,
Yeah, I know, right?
how was your weekend?
Oh, it was fantastic, thanks. We had some beautiful weather here in Queensland in Australia, so it's been really stormy. We've had some of the worst storms that we've known for ages, and it was a beautiful weekend. How about you guys? Is it getting quite cool over there now? Yeah.
No, actually, it was right in the middle of our November surprise summer. It was 75
Oh,
degrees today.
really?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a November heat wave. So
That's
I'm a
that's so
warm,
random.
yeah, well, you're right, especially in November. So I live in Windsor, which is the city right across the river from Detroit, and
Right.
this is unusual for us. So taking
Yeah.
taking advantage of the warm weather while it's still here. So
Yeah, man. Well done. And like before you know it, it'll be snowing.
well, that's a word that can stay away for as long as it wants.
See, I think I'm so fascinated by snow because it doesn't snow where I am.
No, it doesn't snow that often in Australia. Yes, yeah.
No. So it's so we kind of romanticize about that in these parts. What it would be
Sm-
like to have a white Christmas.
well, I fantasize about what it would be like to have a warm Christmas because that never happens for me. But anyway, before we get started, I want to thank you for doing this for me. It's most appreciated.
Oh, 100%, mate. And thank you for reaching out, mate. Because we're both in this together. We're trying to build our audience. We've got a bigger message to broadcast to the world. And I love what you do. Like I watch some of your interviews, and you're so professional,
Well,
and I love
thank
it.
you.
I love it. I
Thank
love it
you.
because there's not a lot of people. I was actually approached by a few different podcasters, and I'm a podcaster myself. So, like you get approached by lots of people, and some of them I was like, oh, I watched some of their content or listened to it. I was like, oh,
Not so much.
yeah. Well, it was, you could tell that people were having a proper go, but the difference is that the level of the quality of the actual interviews were a bit, I don't know, it's in a different scope to, I guess, what I would go for. And so when I saw what you were doing, I was like, mate, hats off.
Well, thanks so much for the compliment, and thanks for taking some time to do this for me. And if you want me to be on your podcast
100%.
eventually, I'd love to do that. So,
Yeah, man. And I was just about to ask you that question because I interview people from all around the world. And, like the reality is you don't have to be famous. It's all
no,
about people that no. And I do have famous people. I have high profile people on my podcast, but that's because I think they're inspiring. And just watching your journey, I was like, dang, you're inspiring as man.
well, I tell people that I simply live my life, and if I'm
Exactly.
inspiring to people, that's the icing on the cake for me. So.
And this is it. And this is when inspiration really comes from a place of truth, is when you're just living your life. And then people are like, mate, I want to know what you're doing because you're inspiring me.
Well, thanks for that. And I read a little bit about your story as well, obviously, doing my research for this interview. And I have to tell you that I was inspired by reading what you've overcome and what you've been able to accomplish. So I'm really excited to do this with you today.
Thank
So.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Loz, if you're ready, welcome to the program, and we're excited to spend a couple of minutes with you to learn all about your inspiring journey. So great to see you, and thanks so much for being here.
And thanks so much, Kevin. I'm really humbled and blessed to be able to chat to you today. we're both in this together, and we're all in this together, really. So thank you for connecting.
Absolutely. I tell people that life is a constant game of connection, right?
It certainly is, and your net worth is your network. So it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to steal that from you eventually, Mark.
Oh, I think I stole that from somebody. So
If you're not begging, you're not trying, right?
100%, right?
So, Loz, I thoroughly enjoyed our time together, and I want to thank you for a revealing and consequential conversation. We really had a blast getting to know you, and I want to thank you for your time this afternoon.
And thank you so much, Kevin. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you, and great questions.
Well,
Thanks for taking the time out to research and, ask some excellent questions.
Absolutely, and thanks for sharing your inspiring story, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, we're done. That was great.
Amazing work, mate. So you can go to bed. You can go to bed soon.
Oh no, it's only about 6:30 here.
Oh, is that? I thought it was later than that.
No, it's about 6:30.
Are you a night owl?
No, I'm actually an early morning, 6 a.m. The early bird catches the worm kind of a guy.
There's a 6 a.m.
Yeah, which is weird because both of my parents are afternoon people. They hate the morning, but I get up and I'm ready to go as soon as I get up. I don't know. So.
Well, I take my hat off to anybody that can get up earlier than about 7 a.m. I got a guy, a PT at my gym. He's crazy. He used to be in the SAS, the British Special Air Services, and he's like done stints in Afghanistan, and he's crazy. He runs half marathons at 1 a.m.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
Well, he takes everything to the next level, and he wakes up just without an alarm at 3 a.m.
I got you.
Crazy.